All right, wrestling fans. All right, guys. Welcome to your Smackdown Live review, your Smackdown 1000 review. Smackdown 1000 episodes. And man, have we come a long way since the very first episode, all the way back in 1999 when SmackDown first debuted in the WWE. A lot of fun, a lot of exciting rivalries, segments, memories for us wrestling fans, right? Fantastic stuff throughout the years that us wrestling fans will carry with us until we are no longer here. Kumbaya, my lord. Kumbaya. Or the big bus being exploded. Or the continuation when they were on Raw and SmackDown of the whole Cactus Jack Triple H rivalry. The Undertaker and his World Championship title reigns. Edge cashing in on The Undertaker. Money in the Bank. Getting the Money in the Bank from Mr. Kennedy. All of that. Great rivalries, great memories that we saw throughout the last 1,000 episodes, including the stuff we see today with AJ Styles, Shinsuke Nakamura, amongst others that we see on SmackDown Live, including Rey Mysterio, who has made his debut back in the WWE full-time. So it's nice to see Mr. 619 back. Now, we're going to get into that plus everything right here tonight on this review. First off, you all know what to do. If you have not done so yet, hit that subscribe button. Join me on this journey right here on YouTube. Follow me on Facebook and Twitter at 2007Webby as well. That would be much appreciated. Go and check out my Monday Night Raw review where we talk about that huge, extraordinary, extravaganza six-man tag team matchup last night. And you're picking up my sarcasm as we speak, wrestling fans. That plus everything else that happened last night on Monday Night Raw. Now, as far as SmackDown Live is concerned, had some good things happen at. They teased a few things that we might see in the future if it ends up coming true. This was the start of that rivalry that we're going to dive into. They wasted, to be blunt with you, The Undertaker. Absolutely blunt. Some of you probably say, well, Undertaker just needed to go out there short, sweet, to the point. Okay, I get your drift. He came out there and for 5 seconds said, "Rest in peace," and walked out. Waste of time. The only thing I want to say about that is that was on a positive note is it was fitting that they ended it with The Undertaker, considering that he really was and is the cornerstone of what SmackDown is. He really is. For so many years, when you think of SmackDown outside of The Rock, Undertaker really fits in that spot. So it is fitting that they ended it with him, but they should have let him talk more than just a couple seconds. Took longer for him to come down the aisle and go up the aisle than for him to speak. So that's really one of the only complaints I have tonight. Perfectly honest with you wrestling fans. Now, we start the Smackdown 1000 episode with Truth TV. Yes, Truth TV is back. They said that it was canceled. Well, apparently it wasn't canceled. Start the show off with it. And just like every big, huge, monumental show that WWE has, they started off with the McMahons. Some of you might not be happy about this. Some of you might be okay with this. It only makes sense that they do this. Stephanie McMahon being the first ever general manager, Shane McMahon being the commissioner of SmackDown, and of course the boss is back. Vincent Kennedy McMahon. Yeah, no chance. Only fitting that they start with those three on Truth TV. And I'm glad that they had Truth TV because Truth TV is always entertaining. Vince comes down there, tells them to have a little dance break, and them dancing in the ring. Little easy vibe for SmackDown Live 1000. Much different than Monday Night Raw. I'm telling you, this show was a lot different. You know, Monday Night Raw, during their shows, even though it was nostalgic for the wrestling fans, it did seem a little more tense. This seemed a lot laid back. A lot. And it was a very good opening segment for the wrestling fans tonight. The Usos took on AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan. Now, this contest did a very good job showing dissension between Styles and Bryan. Look, they need to do something like this. They need to do something that shows that it's not just going to be some friendly affair, friendly matchup come Crown Jewel. Now, there's no question on all our minds that these guys are going to go in there, and if WWE lets them and doesn't chain them, put handcuffs on them, they're going to have one of the best match, if not the best match, on the card. However, it's good to see a storyline where there's some dissension between the two. Just my thought process about it and what I think about this. And the Usos winning kind of made sense in this scenario. Evolution. All four of them. Batista, Triple H, Ric Flair, and Randy Orton. All of them running down everything throughout the past, what's doing today, all of that was great work in this segment. And Batista, you know, at first I was really buying everything that Batista was saying about how he didn't want to just hold the mic. Really made me believe that he wanted to actually step back inside the squared circle. And then he went on and he was talking about Randy Orton and Ric Flair. And then he took a jab at Triple H. Now, when he said that Triple H has done it all, 14-time champion, he is the wrestling business. He's done it all, except beat me. And then they stared each other down and gave each other this kind of look. That should tell you, wrestling fans, that if Batista comes back to the WWE for WrestleMania or anything of that nature, this is where they'll revisit. Right here. This is the start. They planted the seeds. Just how I'm looking at it. You all let me know what you're thinking in the comments below about this. Now, Rusev versus The Miz, Aiden English, cost Rusev the match. Very, very quickly. If you blinked, you missed it. Miz victorious. Goes on to the World Cup. Knew that was going to happen. Rusev and Aiden English going to have a match, whether it's at Crown Jewel or whether it's Smackdown. It's eventually heading towards that. If anything, it'll be at Survivor Series. We'll have to wait and see. Edge had an episode of The Cutting Edge. On this day, I see clearly. Nice to see him back in WWE for one night. That was until he started talking. And I like Edge just as much as anybody else does, but WWE needs to stop trying to force this whole agenda of trying to get us to not like Becky Lynch. Stop. I mean, stop. We're going to like Becky Lynch. There's no way around it. And they used Edge tonight to try to get us to not like Becky. That is what that entire thing was about. Oh, you're doing all these different things, and you're going to end up being alone, and you're going to end up just staring at this and that by yourself. You end up staring at your trophies and your title belts and all these different things and your awards and your house by yourself. No friends. And then you have Charlotte come down and she's like, no matter what you say, Edge, the only thing she cares about is the women's championship. That's funny coming from Charlotte, and I'm just going to tell you, because up until now, the only thing Charlotte has really ever cared about is the title around her waist or shoulder, as I'm pointing to. So, kind of a ridiculous segment, but it was nice seeing Edge on TV. And Becky Lynch and Charlotte brawled again. Speaking of championships, we have new tag team champions on Smackdown Live, and they are The Bar. And not only do we have new champions, but well, it's the Big Show for the millionth time has turned heel. Now I want you all to be prepared for what's coming. Okay? Be prepared for what's coming. Number one, probably building towards Big Show being at Survivor Series. The Bar, the Big Show taking on the New Day, and they'll probably throw somebody else in. Traditional Survivor Series matchup with 5-on-5. They're just building towards that for Smackdown team. Okay? You got to throw in a couple more people on each side. And as far as the tag titles is concerned, the Bar is now a 5-time tag team champion in the WWE. And they are 5-time tag team champion for one reason. And it has nothing to do with what WWE tried to play off tonight. You see, by them saying, oh, they have joined the 5-time club, that's them saying that they are this extraordinary, fantastic, awesome tag team in the WWE. In the fans' perspective, we do like the Bar. Not how WWE's portraying them, because they are portraying them as heels. But we like the Bar because we genuinely like Cesaro and somewhat like Sheamus. And they are, as far as wrestling ability, a good tag team. Now, they got those titles tonight. So the New Day, either at Crown Jewel or somewhere soon down the line, will take the titles off the Bar and add one more title reign to their collection. That's it. That's the only reason why they have those titles now. And the Big Show turning heel is just another reason for all of us wrestling fans to cringe. And of course, Rey Mysterio versus Shinsuke Nakamura in what really was the main event, not the Undertaker. Undertaker came out last and said rest in peace. But Rey Mysterio and Shinsuke Nakamura, I would like to see this matchup, this rivalry, without commercials. This is a match, this is a rivalry that would be nice to see without commercials, without any interruptions in it, anything of that nature. It only made sense that Rey Mysterio won. Number one, is his first night back in the WWE. Number two, this is a World Cup tournament. And at least with Rey Mysterio there, he's representing, in my eyes, the other promotions in the Indies. The other promotions. He's representing the Indies to me. Yes, he's a WWE person, but he just came up from the Indies. So it's like he's representing them. Okay? If Nakamura went in there, it would have been strictly WWE. And that doesn't really sound World Cup. When you look at everybody else that's in that tournament, it really doesn't sound like a World Cup tournament to me. So Rey Mysterio does fit for this tournament, and I'm glad that he won. On the other hand, now, once this World Cup tournament's over, Mysterio, Nakamura, U.S. title, be a good fit, be a good rivalry later on down the line. I'd like to see it. I'd like to see it on a pay-per-view on the network where there's no commercials involved, because I honestly think that match would be awesome to see when there's not a break twice during the match. But you all let me know what you're thinking in the comments below. And of course, don't forget to do everything that I mentioned at the beginning of this podcast. And of course, until I see you again, this is Webby, and I'll catch you on the other side. Talk to you later.